Everybody's watching. I just wanted to switch over to the Twitch app here instead of Streamlabs. I kind of remember it had been like probably a month or so since I tried the Streamlabs app, but last time I did it, I remembered having that issue with the thing cutting out. So hopefully this is a little bit better. I hate that this thing does this. You know, I know for you guys watching, but all right, I'm gonna get to work. It's like I said, sorry about that. We'll see what I can do, and hopefully the thing clears up a little bit. All right, thanks for watching again. Hope you're having a good Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, whatever it is. All right. Okay, so instead of cutting a board to kind of prop the thing up, wow, now that's better. Good, right on. All right, well, maybe it was just Streamlabs acting screwy. I mean, I know that's not always the case, but what I'm going to do instead of putting a board up there to prop the thing up when I run the string line, I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of blocking. Now, eventually, I'm going to have to put blocking all along here. So you can see on this side here, it's attached to the beams of that bracket, and that's holding it pretty firmly in place. But on the other side over here, still there's nothing. Now, what I will have is a hurricane clip, which is this little, metal bracket, which will kind of hold it down. So when it gets real windy, it's not going to like push up on it. But to keep these from racking, that's what you would call it racking if like they all like twist one way. Like, so if you imagine you have these boards just standing upright, not secured, and you could like push them over like dominoes, like that direction or that direction. You put blocking in here, these boards in between them, just to make sure that they don't rack like that. So I'm going to have to cut, 15 pieces of that anyways. On 2-foot centers, those pieces are 22.5 inches long. Except for the two on the outsides. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut those, because I'm going to use those to block these things, just the ones where I'm stringing the line from. So then when I string that line, that rafter on the end there is not going to flop over. It's going to be held more upright by that piece of blocking. So let me go ahead and cut that real quick. I can actually just, since I have this thing in a good position, I'll just kind of point it out the window and you can see what I'm up to out there. I've got a bendy thing on the camera now, so hopefully I can move it around a little bit more without having to take it off of the rack and kind of, carry it around with me. Let me chew that. All right, Noisy Gamer says, "You still waiting for the sun? It looks like I'm still waiting on the snow. Stands frozen to the ground. That's crazy. Yeah, you can see that, right? So when I go to like try to pull those things or move them around a little bit, everything's stuck to the ground. That piece of painted cardboard down there is probably no chance of getting that thing up. Yeah, everything's stuck, waiting for the sun. You know what? It's supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be nice. Like even tomorrow and the next week or so, it's supposed to be real nice. It's just that it's just one of those days here in the valley where we live. We get these like inversions. So we have today is more just like overcast, and it's got this like freezing fog. So everything has a layer of ice on it. You know, all of the sagebrush out here, it's all just like got crystals of ice. It's kind of cool, but it feels really damn cold, much colder than it is. So let me show you what I'm going to do real quick. So I'm going to cut the blocking, and as I mentioned before, a lot of what I'd like the blocking I'm going to cut from either, in this case, like if I cut a rafter and I had to cut the end off, I'll save these pieces because I can use these for that blocking. That 22.5-inch blocking. Same thing with like if I see these boards that I have that are really warped or have other kind of stuff in them that I don't want. Well, I'll just save them and I'll use them for blocking because I don't want to use that nice or that really crappy wood for stuff like rafters or for framing or whatever. So I guess, Noisy, if you're not getting any snow by now, you're probably not going to get any. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I mean, it seems like you would have by now. Well, I guess we do get some in January and February. Actually, out here we get some till like April and stuff, but it's real like wet, Actually, you know what I did? So I was just setting up my circular saw here to use to cut the blocking, but I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to use the chop saw that I have. I have that on loan from a local tool library, and I'm going to go ahead and set that thing up to cut the blocking because that one I can set that predetermined 22.5 inches and just chop so I get all of them cut real nice and easy. So I'm going to set that thing up real quick and do that. I'm going to have to set it up very soon anyways to cut the blocking once I get the thing all finished up. So to do it right now just for a couple pieces, it's not going to be any like real waste of time. My extension cord, the big one that's the supply and everything, is frozen to the ground. It's like frozen in a little block of ice, so I should have picked it up, but a little bit too late now. I can either try to chip it out or just wait for it to thaw. I'm gonna wait for it to thaw. Okay. Seems a little, that one's all right. So you can see down here. Let's see here. News keeps saying all the time, like, hurry. Yeah, I mean, you want to be able to like do some stuff. Do you guys get to go like snowboarding and skiing and stuff like that where you're at? Out here we have some nice spots. All right, so basically this thing, what's really nice about this chop saw or miter saw is that you can basically, you can turn it to a certain angle. So all of my roof stuff is at 312 pitch, so it's 14 degrees. So I can just set all my stuff to 14 degrees when I was cutting all the rafters and everything and just chop them all at 14 degrees. Now I'm just going to do straight cuts though. Actually, let's see here. Okay. Now I should be able to set that guard on that thing 22.5 degrees and then cut them. No, nowhere. Not a bad chop saw, and that'll help you out a lot. So nice. It's really has helped me out a lot. Let's see, nowhere like that here, and if there is indoors, that's crazy. I hadn't heard of doing that indoors. I heard of one in like Dubai or something, but that's pretty cool. That's my other set of glasses. Fortunately, I have a pair that I kept inside a little tote. All right, so now I'll be able to chop them pretty fast. There we go. All right. So I'm going to square up one side, and then I'll push it up against that guard, and then I'll be able to cut it to length. Not supposed to use gloves with these things because you don't want them to get caught in the blade. So I'm actually, even though I hate to take them off, it's kind of cold out here, that's what I'm going to do. Man. That one's actually kind of badly split there. I'm not sure. I mean, I could probably use it for blocking, but I'm going to hold off for now. Like the frosted glasses, you can't see out of them. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that's why it's nice. I have a second pair that I keep inside a tote, you know. Like so, I mean, not intentionally. I just happened to find something like that, so. There we go. All right, now I got that thing dialed in, so I can basically just, you know, run stuff through there and cut it to that desired length very quickly. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and grab one more. All right, here we go. I like how clean the cuts are when you use the chop saw. Yeah, me too. And how fast. That's the big one, you know? Because I'm going to need to cut, I said 15 earlier of those piece of blocking, but, you know, if I'm doing it for both actually I'm going to do it for not only the over the top plate here on this lower roof section, but on the high roof section, I'm going to have to do it on both sides. So in that one, I'm going to have to cut nearly 30 of them. So all in all, I'm going to be cutting like 45 of those things. And probably a few more since I screw some up, or, you know, some of them be split and stuff like that. So it's nice to be able to just, you know. Hey, by the way, I was thinking, M-Slave, if you're still in here in chat, man, I checked something out the other day. This channel called Snyder Spindles. It's this guy who he uses a lathe to make like, I guess, spindles for I don't know, what do you call it? Like if you're making yarn and stuff like that. I don't really know how that whole process works, but it was cool as hell to see somebody with, like, you know, using the lathe. And yeah, I mean, it was like kind of a visually sort of relaxing deal, but interesting to see. I was thinking, yeah, you guys who are into woodworking stuff would probably enjoy that sort of thing. One of the people that I follow. But okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put that piece of blocking up there. Actually, I don't need these right now. Put that piece of blocking up there and then string the line. So, long way around. Everything takes longer than I expect it to. All right, let's get to it. Let's see. Noisy Gamer says, thank you. He's AFK. I see his name in chat. Cool. Right on. So basically what I did is I'm just temporarily putting these things up. That's why I'm using these screws right now. So these are taller than the blocking needs to be for basically blocking these 2x10s. And part of that's because the fact is I notched out these rafters. So there's a little bit of a section missing. So where the rafter sits over the top plate, where the rafter sits over the top plate back here, it's actually not this full length. It's a little bit shallower, a little bit lower. So what I'm going to do is, in the end, I'm going to have to basically like run a mitered cut. Like maybe I'm going to cut like right here. Either that, or I'll see if the 2x6 is going to be tall enough. I don't think the 2x6 will be tall enough to do it, but if not, what I can do is take these pieces of blocking after I cut them to that 22.5 inches. I can basically use that. Use the circular saw at an angle, you know, like it is kind of like its position now. So I use that in an angle so that I can actually cut the thing so that it'll fit in line with those rafters and I can run the sheathing over it. Right now it's basically jutting up, so like the rafters coming in like here and this thing's jutting up. Like I said, just temporary. So I'm going to screw this one in, run the string line, and then start basically shimming them up as needed. Oh, hey, Joe. How's it going? So as I basically explained a second ago, what I'm going to do, in case you didn't see it, I'm going to go and set this thing up there. I actually have an old block that I'm going to take down real quick from when I ran a string line across the wall. Originally, howdy. Is that still? Christ. So like I said, I'm using these screws just because this is temporary, and it just makes it a lot nicer for when I want to go take the thing out. Like I mentioned, I'm only taking it out then because I'm gonna need to cut it. Okay, good. Now I can string the line across there. Actually, I remember I want to get a little piece of 2x4 to stick on top of there so I have that kind of gap that I can measure across the whole thing. You'll grab one real quick. Oh, actually, I got one right here. Let me see if I can give y'all a better view here in just a second. Oh, hey, M-Slave. Yeah, hold up just a second here. Sorry, back. Had to drive my grandma home. Oh, that's very nice. Let's see here. Yeah, Streamlabs. Okay, so yeah, I was using Streamlabs at first. Like I said, it had been probably at least a month or so since I tried Streamlabs, but I remember it having some issues in the past, and it seems like it was cutting out or just acting really glitchy or something. I don't know what, but anyway, so I'm back to the Twitch app now. So what I'm doing up here is I basically just put in this piece of blocking. Thanks, Noisy Gamer. So I'll put in this piece of blocking. I'm going to do one on the other side too, so that I can run this string line across the whole thing, and just to measure the level of where those rafters, the height of those rafters as they sit above the top plate, and the ones that are a little bit low, I'm going to basically shim them up. Hold on here, I got the night mode turned on me all of a sudden for some reason. It looks like, at least. Don't need that. Turn that off. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Actually, before I do that, I might just try to go ahead and put this camera up on the top plate there so that we get a little bit better view. I know it gets a little screwy when I move the camera, but I'm hoping that I can just kind of do it slowly because I'm doing so much work up there today. I feel like it's probably a good idea to go ahead and set the camera up there, and it'll be a nice way to go. So let me check and see what I'm going to do with that, and then I'll move that camera in just a second. So thanks for watching, everybody. By the way, M-Slave, earlier I was asking if you had, or I was saying I think you'd like, if you haven't seen it, this channel, this guy Snyder Spindles, this guy who uses a lathe and he makes spindles on Twitch, but I don't know much about all that, yarn making and all that stuff, but it's pretty cool to watch, at least, just the guy using the lathe. There's a lot of cool stuff on the crafting, area. Okay, I'm just gonna set the camera up here. Wish me luck. If this thing stream drops, I will turn it right back. Yeah, check him out for sure. I follow him. All right, bear with me here. Oh, shit. Okay. Didn't cut out? Good. Right on. Okay. Here we are. So, now, what I'm going to do is take the string line. I think I've learned my lesson at this point that there's really no hope in trying to take a piece of used string that I've stretched across this thing and unbundle it so that I can use it for another one, because it seems like it tangles up every time. So at this point, what the hell? I learned my lesson. I'm going to start using this thing kind of fresh every time, Anyway, so I'm about to tie this thing right down here. I'm going to tie like actually just out of camera. I have a the screw in there, and then it's going to run on top of this block so that it has a little gap. Then run that all the way to the other side there. There's one rafter behind you, but that rafter on the outside, I'm actually not gonna string line on that one just yet, because those I know they're a little higher than the rest, so I'll be fooling with all the rest of them, I think, unnecessarily. Like the whole thing's taller, so. It's very quiet out here today, especially. Okay. That's good. That looks good. All right, let me make my way to the other side there. I'm just going to walk it over since I have to keep this thing above the rafters. I think I'm going to walk it over and see how it feels when I get up here. No, I don't want to do that. I want to fool with that right now. Not what I meant to do, of course. Couldn't cut out. Keep safe, man. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Noisy. I was wondering if I was. Pretty soon, I'm gonna be basically starting to walk on that stuff, you know. But I didn't know if I wanted to fool with it yet because these aren't secured in. So if I kind of trip up and go to grab one, it could. I don't know. It probably wouldn't support me like I expected it to. All right, that's good there. Actually, one thing I kind of need to do here. Is actually, it just occurred to me. I was trying to see if it really mattered. If I have this block here, I was thinking, well, I guess I need to make sure it's going to be at the same like distance back and forth, you know, from the edge of the rafter all the way across if I'm going to be measuring them. But now that I think about it, it really doesn't. I don't think it matters because if it's on a piece of 2x4, it shouldn't really matter. From this side to the other side, it should that straight line will still tell me no matter where it, even if it's at kind of a diagonal, it still should tell me the height that I'm looking at. I mean, assuming it's not off by, yeah, if it's only like an inch or two, it's not going to make a difference. So we're good. We're good. All right, let me go ahead and tie the other one. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Oh, quite a bit of chat was going. Let's see here. How's everyone's week been? M-Slave says. For me, mine's been all right. I just didn't do a ton of streams. It was kind of just relaxing a little bit, and also it was just a little bit bummed after that one was so shitty in the middle of the week. Let's see here. What do you think of the new name? It was driving me crazy with my old name. Twitch got it back to me 3 days ago. Noisy Gamer's good. What's by the way, I don't even, maybe you're saying it further in chat here, but I don't even know what does it mean? What's it for? See, it's not been a bad week. Wedding, what you got here? Okay, let's see here. M-Slave, working on building some shelving. Got a nice microphone, 2 cams. Oh, sweet. I'll tell you what, man, that's good. That's nice you're getting a setup there, M-Slave. I'm psyched for you. That's awesome. I can't wait to get a nice, like, good setup here as far as getting a good, bringing the laptop out and getting some camera set up and stuff like that. Once I start doing the interior stuff in here, I'm psyched for doing something like that too. But that's great. 2 cams hooked up. I see a lot of people doing that. The guy I was talking about who does the stuff with the lathe, he's got a few cameras, and it's kind of cool. It makes sense. You get one on their face, you get one on the action there, and then it's got another one for something else. But Noisy Gamer says, I need to get a cam and mic soon. Revamp my overlays and work on them when I get some time. Right on. Overlays and stuff. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's there's a lot to do, it seems like. I know with the Twitch, my only experiences with the Twitch app on mobile, I'm assuming all of you are talking about just streaming from, like, a desktop, right? Anyways, and Feudal, how's it going? Thanks for that. Liked how it's turning out. Right on. I'm happy to hear you say that. Me too. I'm happy to, be getting this far along in progress here. Oh, hell yeah. Looking at the work, start to feel like you might be able to do it yourself in Chile when you go. Right on. That's good, man. I'll tell you what, and you could, if it depends on what your schedule's like. If you were at that point, if I remember right, I don't know if you were talking about, like, retiring and then doing the thing, but if you had, like, full days to do it, all the time, especially if you had someone that you're working with who can, like, keep you motivated, and both you can kind of, like, help. A lot of the stuff takes me a lot longer because it's just one person. There's a lot of silly things that I have to do when it's just me doing this stuff, where a second person would save me so much time. Shit, so much of that. But I'm glad I make you feel like you can do it, That's great. You definitely could. You could do it a hell of a lot faster than me too. By the way, M-Slave, you and Noisy Gamer, are you guys streaming M-Slave? I know you're streaming the stuff with the crafting, like with the carving type stuff. Do you do any games? I know Noisy Gamer, I know you do games, but I can't remember. It was that one, I think it was that dinosaur game. Maybe, I don't remember the name of it, sorry. But anyways, hey, well, what I'm going to do, I just got this string line done. I'm going to start moving my scaffolding back. First, I'm going to go get a headlamp. It got dark out of nowhere, just with it being a little bit overcast. So I need to go grab a headlamp and be right back out. Then I'm going to start moving my scaffolding along and then checking with a little, piece of 2x4 what the, what the clearances are here. And then use some shingles to shim up under the rafters. Are you planning on getting affiliate partner? Well, if you're talking to me, at some point I'll probably get affiliate, assuming I get, what is it, 50 followers and there's something else. It's like 5 people talking in chat or something like that. I think that's the one for affiliate. I don't remember. But either way, I'm assuming at some point that'll happen, Partner, I would be really surprised if you're talking to me. I'd be very surprised if I end up getting partner, just because it's like, especially right now, like I'm away from the camera so much while I'm building and stuff. I feel like it would be, people who, like a large crowd would probably get kind of bored, if they want to just like chat and bullshit and stuff. And Feudal says, I was in DC for PC about a week back now. I will be fully retired. Yeah, shoot. I'll tell you what. If you have time like that to be doing the building and help, oh yeah, you'll get it done a hell of a lot faster than me. So, anyways, Mslave, yeah, but to answer your question, if you were talking to me, I don't expect that I would get partner, but affiliate, I see that's probably within reach. Yeah. All right, let me go grab my headlamp before I forget because it's getting dark. So I'll be right back. We need to make it happen. Let's see. Arc. Thank you. Noisy Gamer. Arc. Yeah, there we go. Is that the one for like mechanical dinosaurs and stuff too? I think I've seen just a clip of it, but I've been so out of, since I've been up here in Montana, I have been so out of like legitimate computer games. It kind of makes me sad. I watch on Twitch sometimes. I'm like, man, my heart hurts. I want to play some cool games again. All I can play right now is like little crappy Flash games and stuff online. I've got a laptop that's, it's decent, but wouldn't run that stuff, and an internet connection that definitely wouldn't run that stuff. Let's see here. More than him. Bring more people here. Oh, Feudal, thank you. I mean, yeah, obviously, for sure, that'd be cool as hell to get some more people in. The thing is, it's not going to be the typical Twitch audience ever. It's going to be basically, people who have some interest in this stuff. I mean, again, compared to most Twitch streamers, I'm away from the camera and from the screen a hell of a lot more. I'm really not able to catch chat as quickly, so it's really kind of a lot of downtime. But you can look at cool stuff happening and see the progress, and hopefully that's the thing for people like you guys who are interested in this kind of stuff. That's what I like about it, Best Be Right Back stream on Twitch. Thank you again. Right on. Good. At least I can offer that. Let's see here. Who needs overlays when you have that? Right on. Yeah, I know, right? That's the thing. I was like, all right, well, I don't have any good overlays. I'm just using the Twitch app. Got to make do. I agree. I think I may do them for my stream, Noisy Gamer. Right on. There you go. All right. Well, hey, let me let me go ahead and get moved down the line here and check these the heights of these things now that I got my headlamp. And after do that and shim them up, I'm gonna go ahead and try to put those hurricane ties on. That'll be something a little bit of action here. Actually, no, I'm not. Sorry, let me take that back. After I shim these up, what I'm going to want to do, I'm going to want to put the blocking in, I am pretty sure, before I do the hurricane ties. So actually, after I shim these up, I'm just going to go ahead and cut some more blocking. Yeah, that's the plan. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. And again, hope everybody's having a good Saturday evening, night, Sunday morning, whatever. And yeah, let me get to it. Just wanted to check my camera here and make sure it looked good. Let me turn off one of these lights real quick because I think I'm starting to figure out more little stuff in the background as much. I can work with that. There we go. me see in chat here real quick. I forgot to check this out. M-Slave says, I posted in the woodworking Discord. There's a woodworking Discord? That's funny. You mean like a Twitch? You can really not even see my face here, but you mean like a Twitch woodworking Discord? Makers and crafting or something? Either way, but that's cool as hell. I ought to take a look at that and see what's going on there. I know a lot of people have Discords. I don't really see any reason for me to get one, but I'd like to go check some out. I've just posted in some casually, but I've never like actually been an active member of a Discord community or anything. Sunday for me now? Oh, yeah, of course it is, right? Okay. All right, well, let me go and get back there and start. These are all looking so far, they're pretty good. I've shimmed up 2 of them, but that's only, I mean, like a shingles width, so it's really not, you know, not that much needed. Agreed. Stealing from my stream? Yeah, okay. A little high. A little high too. Hey, you pick. Hold on a second here. Try to read this. Sorry, I realize the light is pretty low right now. Let's see here. Let's see. You pick. You pick Amatorinu 123. Okay. I gave him my best shot there. Hey there, how's it going? I have to be careful. One of the first, like the first or second stream I did, I had someone come in and their username was like, it was like I underscore RAE. It's like I am underscore RAEP underscore IHNG underscore MINORZ. And of course I read it out like an idiot, and it's like, I'm raping minors. Oh, nice. You know, it's like, I have to be careful now when I'm reading these things out, make sure it's not like a troll name. And I don't think that one is. Posted in the woodworking Discord. Oh, okay, sorry. Let's see here. You're talking about the woodworking Discord. It's like attached to the Reddit, like a Reddit subforum. I know maybe I missed some chat here, but I don't know if that's exactly what you're talking about or just the. Anyways, whatever it is. So basically, let me give you a little quick rundown here. What's going on is so I noticed that a few of these in the middle seem kind of high, and that's one or two things. One is they're actually a little bit high, in which case it's kind of annoying because. So I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this here. There we go. Okay. So either the ones in the middle are just a little bit high, or that string is a little bit slack, and that's what's kind of causing that. So I'm going to retighten that string and make sure it's not slack. Try to get the slack out, because if it's slack and it sags in the middle, those ones in the middle are going to look a little bit high relatively. Because you have to imagine. Let me try to, you know, this string is going across the whole thing, and if it's slack like that, if I'm measuring a distance here between the string and what's below it, it's going to look like that thing below it is actually high. So I want to try to tighten it up so it's like that. Okay. If it's not and they're actually just high and just a few of them are high like that, it's probably not such a big deal. I may actually shim up the ones on the outside here, or I might see if I can actually shave off a little bit of that. That bird's mouth might be a little bit crooked. Maybe it's just resting on the edge of it. Maybe I'll shave that off. I'm not totally sure. I'm going to try to tighten up the string first. So anyways, looks like you guys are chatting about some other stuff. Said something just from Reddit. I don't know exactly what you're referencing, Mslave, but Reddit has good stuff, I'm sure, with some construction subforums and stuff. I learned a few things from the homesteading subreddit on there and stuff like that. Anyways, Mslave asking about Gorilla Glue. I don't know jack about Gorilla Glue. Hopefully he'll have some info for you. So anyways, let me go ahead and get back there. Okay, so what I did is I basically just tightened that thing up. I tightened that line up because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't sagging in the middle. Like I said, I checked that middle, the levels in there, and it was a little bit like shallow, so it looks like those rafters are high. And they are. I tightened it up and it still looks like that. So for what it's worth, so basically what I'm going to do now is see, all right, either A, there's like 3 or 4 rafters there in the middle that are a little bit high, maybe 1/8 of an inch, which I'm going to go in and measure just for sure. It's not like a big enough deal that I really have to be worried about that, but I kind of do want to get it, fixed if I can. It may be a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch in one spot, or excuse me, 1/8 of an inch, but it may just be that. So I'm going to go double check on that just to make sure and figure out what I want to do. Might try shimming the one on the outside that I actually have this thing attached to, but what that would make me do is basically have to shim up some more of the rafters if I was going to do that. So I'm going to think about that real quick. Let me check the chat here, see what y'all are saying. All right. Let's see. Mslave just glue. Mslave says, as far as regarding Gorilla Glue, I've used it in the past, but I've just picked up some Titebond, and that's been pretty good. I've never used that. Okay. You pick amateur into 123. I'm going to say you pick from now on, so I don't sound like an idiot reading that every time. Okay, my Twitch is broken. Fixed it. Good. I'm going to get some sleep. Night all and stay safe. Night, Noisy Gamer. You're probably already gone, but good night if you're not. And hopefully I'll see you again soon. I'll be back up tomorrow. So, oh, you pick. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. All right, so you came from Reddit, and then your name just came from there. Our Woodworking. That's where the Discord's from. Cool. All right. Well, thanks, by the way, you pick. I never really said hi too much, but thanks for watching. That's cool. You're coming from Our Woodworking. That's awesome. Yeah, I've actually posted on Reddit. I might have to go fish for it and see. I might have posted under like an alt account or a throwaway account, but I posted a pretty lengthy link and story when I first started living out here, and basically like the kind of I don't want to call it homesteading really, but I was camping out up here, and I went through the whole process of like purchasing the property and getting started with the building and all of the beginning steps, and basically talked about like what it was like living in a tent up here for 6 months. So I have a pretty long story on Reddit about that with a bunch of pictures and stuff. All right, hey, you pick. Well, anyways, thanks for stopping in. I'm glad you came in to say hi and see what's going on. I usually stream on the weekends, and then I stream on weeknights. Sometimes, maybe every other day you could count on it, but I'll be kind of trying to keep an updated schedule so you can see what's going on with that. You're gonna come back and see if it would be on after I'm done. Cool. All right. Well, thanks. Thanks for watching. By the way, if you guys could let me know how the stream is looking as far as if it's laggy, audio issues, etc. It's really foggy, and I have a hunch that it's going to affect the stream. But yeah, if you all could let me know for sure if it's been looking decent, It looks eerie back there with the fog when the car comes through. It's kind of cool. I'm going to get back to it now. It's alright. Divides our day. suspected. Yes, that's all. Hey, could you guys let me know and see? I asked a second ago, and I just wanted to make sure if you guys could be away from keyboard, but basically just wanted to see if you could let me know if the chat's looking okay and everything. I have a hunch that it dropped out a little bit there. Sometimes I can start to tell when it's like acting kind of funny, but I'm hoping it's going good now. Like I said, the fog makes it kind of screwy. So yeah, if you guys could, I'd really appreciate it if you let me know if it dropped out, if it's kind of acting up. Just because, like I said, I suspect it did like a few minutes ago. Anyways, what I'm gonna do is I've got my I have an angle grinder, and what I have on the angle grinder is this wheel, this like sanding wheel, and it's really good. It takes this material off of off of wood like really fast. So I'm going to use it for a little section on one of these rafters. That's kind of the bird's mouth cut is kind of like the part of it that's sitting on the top plate is kind of angled back like that. It happens to be a little bit too high for what I want, so I'm actually just going to shave off that section that's sitting a little too high anyways, so that it can get like kind of a better seat on top of the top plate. Yeah, I think the stream's acting up. Not totally sure, but it looks like that. Okay. Alright, so if you couldn't hear me just a second ago, what I got here is an angle grinder that has a sanding wheel on it. So I'm going to use it to kind of shave a section of one of these cuts here so that it kind of sits more flat on top of the top plate, and it'll take a little that height off because it's a little too high still. That I was looking at. That is really annoying. I do that every time. Started. Okay, let's see here. M-Slave said, been good, cuts out every so often. Okay, cool. A little bit. Okay, all right, just want to make sure. Cool, thanks for letting me know. Hey, by the way, M-Slave, I know you said that you got some cameras and a mic set up. What kind of cameras did you get for streaming? You just get some like USB webcams or something, or I know a lot of people are using like GoPros and stuff, but just curious what kind of cameras you're using for your setup. Speeds. The face of the earth. Really knew it. She had to go. Took her back in, but I didn't know it. Heard a funny sound. Let's see. What do I want to do with that? What do I want to do with that? Minutes and I need to throw that mine's fun every guess you could call it superpowers to save the world. Oh, let's see here. Okay, so it says one Logitech C9. Hold up. One Logitech C9 for my hands and an old Microsoft 720p webcam for my face. Cool. Yeah, I feel like there's like when the time comes to get like a setup here as far as other cameras, because I'm just using a phone here. It's a OnePlus 5T. Has actually a very good camera, and if I wasn't just doing streaming that I had to worry about, like, you know, whatever bandwidth, etc., I could take much better video, especially with the camera on the back. But yeah, that makes sense, because you can get one. You can find those webcams for cheap, it seems like. So that's pretty cool. That's good. I think the whatchamacallums. The GoPros are, this is a few $100 for sure. But let me just give you a little something here. You may know about this, but with doing the woodworking stuff, but God, this is really what washes out anything I shine it on, it seems like. But these are like, this is so an angle grinder, you probably know, angle grinder, nice. But these like sanding wheels, these that you can get on these, it's basically what it is. It's kind of like a little attachment. So you get this like rubber backing pad, and then you have this little thing that holds this sanding wheel on top of it. And it is really one of the best ways to like just take off some extra material. Like if on, you know, if I'm trying to think of a good example, but if you have a little like wooden burr on something that you're trying to like, you know, knock off, this thing, it cuts through stuff so fast. You get one of those like really like the coarse grit ones. It takes stuff off faster than anything else you'd use. I mean, for some reason it seems like so much faster than just using like a belt or orbital sander. You know, if even on like a coarse grit, it works really well. Of course, you know, a Sawzall would do if you have a good path that you're going to cut. But this thing, I use it for a lot of stuff. It's really nice. You know, the angle grinder itself is really good for other stuff, but yeah, this sanding wheel for wood, really good deal. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and shim up one of these here near the camera. You probably won't be able to see it. Seems pretty helpful. It's very helpful. Yeah. What to do is mine. Slept for days. One dream, I guess you can call it superpowers. Save the world. Living life on silver towers. ocean. Ocean. Cool. Nice. Cool. You good there? Don't you come home, I do not know why you left. Right this time. Chocolate on the bed, what do you mean? Whatever you choose. It's alright, and it knows. To let go, it can be as easy as from the sky from the start. I don't know, but I don't know, but I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. M-Slave, was that a dog or something? Are you talking about me singing? Hopefully not. Maybe if you heard howling, it could have been a dog. Could have also been a wolf or a coyote. Probably a coyote. You can hear him howling, but I didn't hear any howling. To be fair, I have my earbuds in, but... anyways, so what I'm going to do now is I just took, a measurement along here, and I got all these, the height of all these pretty much like on the same level, and that's really what I want there, of course. So now I'm going to, what I'm going to do is basically go cut some blocking, because for now I'm pretty much done up here. The next thing I need to do is put that blocking in. So I'm going to, like I said, just go ahead and start cutting the stuff. Haha, no, there was something that sounded like a whine. Again, hopefully not my singing. I don't know, but it could have been a whine, could have been a dog. There's dogs around, but shoot, man. A neighbor's dog comes around here and will run through the property, but he's usually, I don't hear him whining, he's usually pretty stealthy. Let me stop blabbering for a second and see if I can hear what you might have heard. Take my earbuds out. I'm trying to hear if there's a dog. If it was a whine, that could have been coyotes, honestly. It is so quiet tonight. It's crazy. Man. You could hear everything. I can hear one car driving down the highway, and it's like a few miles away, you know? Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and interrupt that nice peace and quiet with the chop saw. So let me go ahead and move the camera down there. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to keep it up here and then just shine it down on the site. I think that'll be better. Eesh. That just sounds so comfy. I have to. Oh, I can't. Hold on. This thing is kind of being blocked here for a second. Okay. Come on now. No. God, this thing. What is it doing? Sorry, the straight. Oh, there we go. Not being blocked anymore. Okay, Imslave says, that just sounds so comfy. I'd have to move quite a bit north to get quiet. Yeah, you know, this is, especially tonight, it's really quiet tonight, you know. It's usually not, it's still quiet usually, but not like this. This is crazy. Cyril J. Hey, Cyril, how's it going? Yeah, good to see you back again. Hey, right on. It says, just use earplugs and you don't have to move anywhere. There you go. Yeah. Have your own little kind of, own little quiet place inside your head. I don't find that works out as much as it sounds like it would. Being able to have, be out here and you can sense it when it's quiet, when it's dead quiet like it is out here, you can sense it. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can see that fog rolling in like that. Look at that. It's eerie tonight. It's cool, but it's eerie. I know we'll hear some coyotes howling in a second. I know that was probably what you heard earlier. We'll hear some more. Yeah, Cyril, man, I'm glad that you. I figured it would be a nice addition so you can kind of see what's going on with that. All right, let me go ahead and I'm going to shine the light down here on the, I think this will be the best way for me to try to do this here. Let's see. Maybe not. I'm going to take the camera down there. I can make it work. All right, bear with me. If it cuts out a little bit, I will bring it right back up. I do not know why you. Woo. All right. Okay, I'm going to move that light so it's not shining straight at the camera. Oh, glowing bucket. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, for sure nice to see you, Cyril. Let's see. Yeah, it's a huge difference when you move from urban area to rural. You start to realize how much background noise you live with. It's true. It's crazy. Yeah. Although, you know, it's like I actually moved up here. When I moved up here, I moved from a studio that was like 2 blocks from the beach. I have to say that was like, you know, you always hear noise out there, but it was not bad because you always get that like ocean breeze and that sound too. I was very fortunate. I'm very fortunate here too, but that was a cool spot. See, are you putting any skylights in the thing? No, I'm not putting any skylights in, but what I am gonna have is I can rotate this thing quite a bit better now with this new setup. Up above on top of that beam up there, I'm gonna have a clerestory. And I'm gonna have lights coming in from the south, but I won't have any skylights. I'm not planning on it. So, by the way, sorry if when I turn that thing, if it screws up the stream. Like I said, I will stay on and I'll put it back up. I find that as people have commented, when I move it around too much, it does tend to kind of screw it up some. So sorry about that. I'm trying to remember not to do that so much. So Cyril, I'm curious, and you asked about putting any skylights in the thing. Is that something? Are you like a fan of those? I've heard people say that they will give you problems. You know, if you like, as far as you have to get the flashing right, basically just to make sure that you don't have any leaking and stuff. And I try to be very like, you know, reasonable as far as estimating my skills. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm pretty new to this stuff. For one, I don't think I'd be able to like make it look that good as far as a skylight goes. I don't know, just a hunch. I feel like, man, I just don't see where it would fit in the house. I can't picture it. But also, yeah, I have a lot of windows already. So I was just curious why you asked that, but I've seen them done well. A lot of leaking issues with the skylights. I've heard that too. And like I said, just knowing that like I'm a beginner to this stuff, I'm like, well, if anybody's gonna screw it up where it's leaking, I mean, it's probably someone building a house for the first time. So, but anyways, by the way, Mslave in chat, Cyril knows a lot of stuff. I don't know if you've been in chat when he's been in here. He knows some good stuff. You got any? Yeah, I'll try to answer some questions, but he's shown me some good stuff actually in the middle of a stream before, a couple times. All right. Let me get back to, I'm going to cut some blocking now. So remember, I'm going to basically have this thing set to 22.5 inches. And that's a number that'll crop up a lot if I'm doing 2 foot on center, which I am. That's the space that, your 2x material. Is Cyril the old Milwaukee guy? No, I think that was Joe Philly. I think Joe Philly's the one who used to work at Milwaukee. Anyways, like I said, the 22.5 inches, you start to learn, like, okay, that's the number that if you're measuring between 2 studs, which is 2 foot on center, you basically have to count for, okay, there's 3/4 of an inch on either side of the thing. Anything will give you problems. Here we go, Joe Philly. Okay, it's him. It just says, anything will give you problems if you do it wrong. Flashing a roof is a little bit harder, especially if you're putting in an existing roof. But when it's new construction, you have some more leeway. Okay, cool. Yeah, and M-Slave, I had forgot too. Originally, I had to ask him. I thought it was Futile 91 was the one who was but Joe Philly. So, cool. Right on. Well, thanks everybody for watching. I've got, I don't know what time it is here, but I guess I at least probably have another hour or two. And I'm going to go ahead and cut some of this blocking now. Okay, so it's 7 o'clock here. That's good. I'll probably go till 8 or 8:30 tonight. But let's see, Cyril says, I have some in my house now. I think I'll put more in. Just kind of nice to look up at the sky, and the place doesn't have a ton of light pollution. Oh, yeah. Cool. I mean, yeah, to be fair, we're pretty good for light pollution out here. We don't have, it's not the best, Rural Idaho, that was probably the best I've seen when I was in rural Idaho. Crazy, just how dark it was. But here it's so-so. If I turn off all the lights on the property, I can see stuff pretty good. Which right now I only have like one that's not a work light. But anyways. I'm going to take my gloves off. I'm trying to be more remembering to do that when I use the saw. I guess you're not supposed to really use gloves like that when using the saw because they could get caught. So... Secret codes. mess. I don't know why I even bother with that thing. Dust can cake in the fabric, makes it so you have slip and slide hands. Okay. So Cyril, are you working on any projects right now? Try some karate stuff here. Glad I didn't use that one. That's a little bit better. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Been helping. Just a second. Let's see here. Been helping my brother off and on. He just bought a place. It's pretty much full gut job. So demo fun. Just redid the roof in November. Helped him put 300 pounds huge ass window on his second floor master. 300 pounds window. Good God. That would be a little bit like be a little anxious bringing that thing up to the second floor. Wow. That's cool. Right on. Yeah, I've never done any demo stuff really. I know it seems like more people have done demo and remodeling, of course, than they have like new construction. But really, after the end of this, I still am probably not going to know a lot about demo and remodeling type stuff, other than just using a Sawzall and whatever. But yeah, a lot of the time I'm talking to people about stuff and they've done a little remodeling. I'm like, shit, I don't know anything about it, honestly, other than just I like the whole thing here of being able to just start putting everything up and all the stuff that went into it and everything. Seems like remodeling kind of sucks, honestly. I would be like, man, trying to figure out what you want to keep and what you want to take out. Yeah, but cool, good stuff. Ooh, hard one. So if you don't That's alright. Okay, well, losing my. Yeah, it's overlooking a fairly large lake with not much else around. Pretty nice view. Remodeling isn't bad. You just need to know when to stop so you're making more work for yourself going down the line, smashing pipes and wires and stuff. Man, I'm sure that would be me, not knowing when to stop and just saying, "Oh, I need to fix that too." Well, hey, while I'm in here, I might as well do that, dude. That would be me. I'm glad I'm not doing that crap. If I was helping out somebody and they could tell me, "Hey, you do this," that's okay. But if it was my project, shit, I wouldn't like that. Snatcher Knot, hey, how's it going? How's it going with you? It's going pretty good here. Where in the world are you? Yeah, I know. Actually, if I take a look out the window here, it looks kind of alien almost. It's like it's in Montana. It's in in the Bitter Valley of Montana. It's actually not too cold right now. It's probably about 32 or so, but we got like ice covering, like it's one of these weird things where we got this fog inversion, this freezing fog, where it comes in and it like drops ice all over everything. I guess Snatchernaut, this is the first time. So what's cool in Montana? Well, this stream for one. Here, I'll show you. So I guess I don't think I've seen you in chat before, and I don't know. Maybe you've probably first time dropping in. But basically what I'm doing right now is I've got these rafters that I put up recently. So here's the house. Yeah, you new here? Right on. Okay, so I got these rafters that I put up over the past, I don't know, week or so. And now what I'm doing is I just put a, oh hey, how's it going, you pick? So I just put a string line across the top of those rafters, and I'm using that to measure to make sure they're all the right height they need to be. Now what I'm doing is actually cutting some blocking. So I'm using this chop saw or miter saw here to cut the blocking. So you can basically set it to, in this case it's 22.5 inches, which is what you would use for 2 foot on center. So I'm going to cut these boards, and then what I'm going to do is put them basically, you can kind of just barely see here, but like just yeah, it's hard to really picture it, but they'll fit in between these things, like up in here. They're basically going to sit on top of the top plates, and they're going to fit in between these rafters. And the purpose of that is so these rafters, when they're stacked, like they're like standing upright like this, so they don't like rack and stuff. You know, you basically you put a piece of wood in between them like that. That's kind of holding those two together, and then they're not going to rack. So I'm cutting that blocking right now. And then the next step is basically just to nail that blocking in. And after that, I'm going to start putting on these metal clips called hurricane clips. And those will basically hold the roof down to the wall. So right now I'm in the middle cutting this blocking because I'm using the chop saw here, doing that. That's kind of what's going on. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Got a few new people here, which is awesome. And so I'm going to go ahead and get back to it. Let me know if there's any stuff that you want to see. I try not to move the camera around too much because the stream gets kind of goofy. It gets kind of like the connection is kind of, sometimes good, sometimes really crappy. So if I move it around, it tends to get worse. I try not to do that. So I'm going to tend to leave it in one place, but once I go do some other work, when I go, for example, put this blocking in, I'll move the camera back so you can kind of see what I'm doing up there. UPick says, have you had any animal troubles while working? No, I haven't. I mean, there's skunks up here that you can like smell them around, but they stay pretty clear of all the building site. Neighbor's dog will wander around kind of sneaky, and but he doesn't cause any trouble, but sometimes kind of surprises me. Other than that, no. I see deer up here quite a bit during the day. Okay. Cyril says I'd call it fire blocking, depending on if the inspector is the dickhead, and I'm guessing that's what you meant. And I guess I didn't know that was actually called fire blocking. Fire blocking, as I understood it, was like, so damn it, of course I'm gonna drop everything. I thought that was like fire blocking right there, because that's at that happens to be at that 8 foot mark. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, that's at the 8 foot mark where I can nail my plywood to, but I didn't know that stuff up above the top plates would have been called fire blocking. But Cool. By the way, Cyril, we don't have a residential building inspection out here, or residential building permits for that matter. So I mean, you know, for what it's worth, I mean, I'm actually not gonna have a building inspector come out and look at this stuff. I still try to build, you know, of course, you still are supposed to build it to the code wherever you are, so it doesn't matter. But it matters in the sense that I'm not gonna have somebody checking over all of my work in that way. So, anyways, all right. Well, let me go and get back to it. You guys can chat a little bit, and I'll check it here in just a second. I'll be streaming for probably about another hour, maybe a little bit less. Depends on location, I guess. And LOL, that is awesome. Yeah, it is awesome. It is awesome. But you should see some of the houses out here and some of the stuff. People slap up these outbuildings and these houses that are like, what in the hell is going on? Some of them look like real haunted houses. Gryback 69. Hey, what's up, boss? What's up, boss, for you? How's it going, man? I don't think I've seen you in here either before. What's in that container you're drinking? Just water, warm, like kind of. I only have it in there just to keep it warm because it's, you know, about freezing. So my water will freeze in my canteen if I have one that's not insulated like that. So it's just water. I might crack a beer in a second though. I'll tell you, it's kind of a nice night for it. So, well, Gryback, I think it's the first time for me seeing you in here too. Sorry about that. So welcome everybody. Let me go and get back to work here instead of, because I'll just keep explaining what's going on the whole time. I'm basically just cutting these this blocking, and I'm gonna go ahead and get back to it here. And like I said, I'll be up for probably about another hour. So thanks everybody for watching. Nice saw back there. Going to SawCon this year. Oh, is that a thing? That's kind of cool, but no, I'm not. It's a chop saw that I've borrowed from a local tool library. Every night's a nice night for beer. Absolutely, Cyril. And then Joe Philly, what kind of beer do you like? I usually don't drink too much. It's about -10°C here in Finland right now. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, actually, -10°C is not as bad as -10 Fahrenheit, I don't think. But still, yeah. It's warmer than that for sure here in Montana. Jesus, there's actually a lot of people chatting here. It's pretty cool. Buy some glue, sandpaper, and stuff tomorrow. Right on. All right, everybody. Well, hey, let me get back to work here. I'll come check chat in a second. So, suck on these nuts. Jesus Christ. Suck on. Suck on these nuts. Oh man. All right, best chat joke so far. I'm gonna go get some more boards real quick to cut. let's see here. Okay, 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Snatcher says, Home Depot scamming people. 1647 USD for 8-inch clamp. 2560 for 7-inch. Yeah, the clamps are bad, man. Those are expensive. They're always expensive, which sucks. I mean, because it's like those clamps. Those are like gold. You can't have enough clamps. The pipe clamps are really nice. Actually, I like those quite a bit, and those are pretty good because you can get some like just get up different lengths of those things. By the way, earlier I don't think I answered you because I got distracted by that joke, Joe. As far as beer, I don't really care. I don't drink too much beer, but I'm kind of just a plebe for beer. It's just IPA or whatever the hell, We have a lot of breweries around here. Let's see. Get over there at those places. Just went to the Woodcraft store yesterday. That place is pretty cool. Oh, Woodcraft store. I don't even know about those. I'm guessing that's for like more finishing type stuff, etc. Cyril J, like any big box store, they have a ton of shit. Not just the best quality. It's okay for weekend warriors, but not enough durability for a professional. M-Slave still laughing about that Saucon comment, dude. It took me half a second to get it, and I was like, damn, dude. Well, I gotta learn, man. It's like, thrown in the freaking frying pan with some of these trolls. I've gotten the first few streams. I got a few just knocked me on my ass. And I just don't. I'll learn though. I will learn. First construction saw joke like that I heard. All right, not for the professional. Yeah, started woodworking in September because of school. Decided to start at home with hand tools. Menards selling clamps, 10-inch for $8. We don't have Menards around here. Let's see. I don't know much about them. Anyways, all right, good shit. Real quick, I'm gonna run inside. Actually, I'm gonna grab a beer, but I'm also gonna grab some more water here. Let me go ahead and, like I said, I'll be back in like 5. All right, I'll see y'all in a second here. see here. Okay. Anyways, back. Let's see. Trade school or something else. Normal school with elective classes. Yeah, that's cool. I wish I did something like that in school. Kind of woodworking. I'm bringing woodworking to school because the semester is about to end. I really like the class. What do you guys think is the best brand as far as electric power tools go? What are you going to do with it? Cyril says, and that kind of just depends on what you're doing, cord or not. I'll say for one, by the way, Snatchnaut, I don't know a lot about different tools and stuff like that. I can speak at least for the, I would say that these have been really good to me. There's Milwaukee cordless circular saw, as well as they also do like a drill and an impact driver, and they use these M18 batteries. Those have been really good. They're like a little bit expensive, but just go ahead and look them up. If you look up some of the Milwaukee stuff, these, like I said, it's these M18 ones. They've been really good. They have a set. The saw and this impact driver are probably the two things I use the most. Use them all the time. Milwaukee seems to get a lot of praise. Yeah, I mean, the other one, it seems like you see those DeWalt drills. A lot of people have those DeWalt drills. So I would guess just by how much I see them, you probably can't go wrong with those things. But Cyril has probably used a lot more different types of tools than I have. What was some whiskey instead of some beer? The beer would actually probably start freezing a little bit out here. Well, it could. I'm not totally sure, but I have a hunch it would. Okay, where were we? I don't know about that. Makita is super popular here. I've never used any Makita tools, but I don't think I have, at least. But I know, yeah, I know they're popular for sure. This one looks split. I just cut it. I'm gonna see if it's how bad it is. Let me try to karate this thing. There we go. Not using that one. Let's see. Cyril says, I found Milwaukee to be top-notch for drill bits and other accessories. They also had a nice line of saws back in the 90s, but they kind of fell off till recently. Oh, okay, interesting. Milwaukee, yeah, and I had, obviously with the drills that I have a ton of their bits and stuff too. It seems like there's a lot of those available. U-Pick is back, right on. Okay, I'm gonna fix up a light here real quick. Yeah, that's fine. That'll be good. Trying to get the thing so it's not totally washed out, you know. It's pretty dark in there. Hope a bear doesn't eat you. Yeah, me too. We don't really get bears that much around here. Up in the like mountains and the hills a little bit we do, but looks like a play where light focuses on one thing. Yeah, I'm still trying to get my stuff figured out. There's going to be a lot of weird lighting you'll see while I'm basically trying to maneuver things around. At a certain point, what's going to happen is ideally, once I get the house like dried in, which is when I get basically like the roof on and you know, I guess you could say the windows and the doors, but at least once I get the roof on, I have a place inside that I can work. And yeah, Cyril says they'd be hibernating. Yeah, probably true. So at that point, what I want to do, I'll probably have a little bit more regular sort of lighting and connection, by the way. For those of you who have been watching for a little while, you know sometimes the stream goes in and out, especially if I move the camera around a lot, which in this case, it's just my phone. So if I move it around a lot, it gets screwy. But eventually, once I get inside here, I'll basically get the thing set up where I have like a laptop that has dedicated cameras, you know. Better connection probably, better lighting. Lighting's not bad here. I don't think that's what you're saying. I think it's just, sometimes it's a little bit weird. But. Where the shit did I put that? I don't know where I put my freaking glasses at. I have this other pair, but they're all fogged up or iced up. Where did I? Ah, on top of my head. There we go. couldn't tell you why. Bump that thing out a little bit. Let's see here. I'm gonna check some chat. See, Mslave got my table saw the other day and not used it because I'm terrified of it. Oh man, table saws are so nice though. Man, I want to at some point pick one up. Those are really good. Saria when it's a saw stop. It's very off-brand. Set it off and there goes $104. Oh, for the ones that stop, like if it hits your finger, it boom, like disintegrates that, or not disintegrates, but it like totally wrecks the blade or something, or has some mechanism. Looking at a consignment shop, says Cyril J. They'll have a bunch of stuff that's in good condition. Have to search. Mslave says the King Feng Fu. Hot damn, this is what I'm looking at. That's an old ass saw. First Google image search. Coworker sold it to me for $30. King Feng Fu. That's the brand on the table saw. By the way, kind of depends on your situation, like where you live and so on. But even here in our town, we actually have up in like north of us in Missoula, there's a really good tool share that has all kinds of stuff there. Including like trucks, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a truck and you need to like bring lumber, like grab lumber, stuff like that, they have trucks that you can use. And even here, like even closer to where I am, we have a tool share that is where I got this. I have this chop saw from, and all kinds of other like random little things. So check and see if you have those around. It's, if you're using something like on the regular, like anything that I'm using all the time up here, like of course, like with the circular saw, with the screw gun, stuff like that, I really am like want to have those because you want to use them all the time. But for stuff like this chop saw, I'm not using it all the time. It's like when I'm cutting the blocking, when I'm cutting the mitered cuts, it's really nice. Other than that, I'll just use a circular saw for everything, Sawzall I like to have on hand. There's a bunch of hand tools I like to have on hand, but for some of the big stuff, check and see if you have a tool share. 10-inch blade, I'm guessing on the King Feng Fu that he's talking about, which I've, again, never heard of for sure. That's fun. That's interesting. Okay. And then Cyril says he smoked through one of those when he was a teenager. Oh, boy. Well, have fun with that, Mslave. Might want to stand far away from it. Use a little push stick or something first. I don't know. You'll probably be all right. Just be careful. Well, I shouldn't say you'll probably be all right. I don't know that. Stay safe. That's what I'll tell you. All right, let me get back to it here. else we got in here? Ew. So just heads up, I probably got about 30 minutes here that I'll be streaming. Joe Philly is back. How's it going, Joe? Both DeWalt and Milwaukee tools, depends on the tool. Milwaukee has great lights, sawzall, heated jacks, and hand tools. Yeah, and I can speak to the hand tool. Well, I guess more like the power tools, the drill and the so on and so forth. And then Imslave is saying, want to resell that, resell the King Feng Fu, whatever it is, for $50. Yeah. Indestructible. I'm indestructible tonight. Breakdown. Tell me it's not true. It's a shakedown. What videos will come after this? See, I'm laughing. Can't get distracted, and I know. Listen to the great Joe Strummer. So I had to check something real quick on here, just to see. Sometimes, on this one, you can set that little dial to 0. So you have that thing where you can open that up, and then you can turn this here. I try to weatherman this thing. So you can turn that. There's a handle there, and turn it basically. Jesus, I cannot. Like that way or that way, to make your angled cuts. But on this one, it's like it's weird. You set it on 0, and sometimes just depending on, I don't know, sometimes you can set it on 0 and it still seems like it's cutting a little bit off to the side, a little bit of an angle. So I had to go check this and make sure, and it's kind of goofy because if you're squaring it up with that and then you're actually cutting with that too, sometimes it's hard to tell and make sure that it's actually close. But this is blocking. I'm not too concerned. It can be a little bit off of that 22.5 inches, but it was just kind of, I found that it's happened to me before, and it kind of is a little bit of a pain if I don't remember to check and make sure that what I'm actually cutting is like straight, Or if you have a bowed piece of wood and you set it up against that rail, it's not always cutting straight either. Again, some of these problems that I have are problems with reclaimed lumber, but just working through it. So anyways, UPick says, I keep getting deja vu when I go inside my garage. Huh. Anyways, yeah, test out that saw for sure. I would love to have it. I'd have bought a $30 table saw too, for sure. Give it a shot, yeah. In the shadow of darkness, I see the light. Not going to use this one. They're good. All right, I'm gonna go grab some more boards real quick to cut. I've probably cut enough I need for this wall, but I'm gonna go ahead and get a few more done while I'm at it. So this is all right, let's see here. I'm gonna need some more clamps. I want to glue stuff together and installing another light near the area lamp. Be right back. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is so I've been cutting these kind of smaller scraps. I ran out of the smaller scraps, which is great. So I have some boards, some like long boards. In this case, this is like at least a 10-foot, 12-foot board that I didn't want to use for a rafter because it was just too screwed up. So in this case, what I'm going to do is, this is where it's like really nice with this chop saw, is you can basically just, I have it up against that guard there, chop it, feed it through, chop it, feed it through. It's good stuff, So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I've got a few more of these. And I'll probably honestly just keep cutting rafters of this thing for the rest of the stream, just because I don't want to change it up and do something else right now. And then tomorrow I'm going to start by using my circular saw, putting the thing at an angle, and then running it. So because I'll explain that a little bit more later. Basically, I need it to match when it sits on top of the top plates. I need the angle on the top of that to match the rafters that are coming in and the height. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Actually, I don't need it to match the angle, but I need it to match the height, so it's not sticking out above the rafters. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those tomorrow like that. Anyways, lost a few viewers. Hopefully the stream's still going good. Sometimes when it drops down real quick and then drops back up, it shows me the stream's not doing that great. Let me know if the stream is really choppy or whatever. Anyway, Cyril says, cheapest I've seen one sold for was $5. But some Yahoo ran it over with a lull. With a lull? I don't know what a lull is. But, anyways, $5 for a table saw. Sweet. It's a red hot moon. Take a bus downtown to the graveyard shift tonight. Okay, here we go. By the roadside. Yeah, not good. Yeah, Cyril, good advice. I've noticed that for sure. Keep an eye on the stop. They have a tendency to move over time to change your length. And that's what I've been trying to, like, every once in a while I'll go through and measure it just to make sure, because I've noticed that that happens. As much as I tighten it down, it still seems to do that. And that little thing on the end, it moves a little bit. It's, I'm actually got a little bit surprised on the thing that they whatchamacallit, you know, but they're kind of like that. I guess it's for like angling the thing, but I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of wonky that you feel like the end of that stop would be a little bit more solid. Anyway, okay, so a lull is a big ass construction forklift. Okay, right on. God, ran it over with that. I'm surprised the thing is still. I'm assuming it's barely usable if it was being sold for $5, but still, damn, that's funny. Those things are pretty cool though. That's probably the most fun out of the whole thing, this whole project, everything I've done, is when I've been able to rent like a little, mini excavator, and I use that for digging in the trench for my electrical secondary. Among other things, I dug other stuff with it, but being able to use that, like, little mini excavator, man, that was fun. That was probably the coolest thing I've done on the whole project. I mean, it cost you, but I was able to get good work done, and that was a good time. You Pick is back. Do you ever operate any equipment, Cyril? I'm assuming if you do enough construction, at some point you might, have hopped on something at least. At the same time, it seems like around here most people are typically, they own the equipment, so they're not like letting other people use it and stuff. But that, well, I can say that was fun stuff. I wish I could do that some more, but to rent one is expensive as hell. Floor's kind of trash. I'm not sure if this is going to be that good. Yeah, that one's trash. I got more. What the fuck is going on with this thing? Nine people in here. Yeah, there's actually a lot today that came in, and especially people were chatting. There's like 10 people chatting for a second. It was crazy. Yeah, I have that exact stand. Oh, you have that exact, okay, the exact same. So this he's talking about, I was talking about the stand that I have here. The miter saw itself, for those who don't know, obviously Cyril knows this, but this saw Actually, I'm not going to take it off the stand because that'll, of course, I have it set to a certain length, so I don't want to do that and then have it screwed up. But that saw actually comes off the stand, so you could basically move it somewhere. If you don't have one of those stands, people will like mount it to, sawhorses or something, mount it to some board and put it somewhere. Let's see. Cyril says, I'm not sure it's meant for angle and crap. I think it's just a byproduct of how it's attached. Okay. Yeah, I always wondered. Again, it's kind of, the whole thing with it then. It's kind of wonky. It's just like, it's weird. That end thing will just turn a little bit. Alternatively, you can just keep one close as a blank that you know is the right length and use that to check. Keeps from having to pull out your tape. Yeah, that's actually smart. And I typically, in this case, I didn't do that. But yeah, that's a pretty smart deal. So, start with all that good knowledge. I'm loving that. Yeah. Yeah, I like to make like jigs for as much as possible, and that, I guess that kind of counts. But yeah, that's real good stuff. All right, I got a few more to do here. It's getting to be, I think probably about 8:30. I'm gonna turn the thing off, so probably 15 minutes or so. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate all the everybody watching, all the comments and everything. And yeah, I'm gonna finish it up here. Hope you're having a good Saturday night, Sunday morning, whatever it might be. See, when I went to go move it just briefly there, I think I actually did move it. Made it a little bit further away. Yeah, let's see. UPick says, when is the next stream after this? Probably tomorrow, actually. I like to do it on the weekends. I started a little late today, probably like 4, but 4 Mountain Time. But I'll probably start. I try to start a little earlier, like 2 or so, because it's nice when it's light outside. I mean, it's just a lot easier as far as having to not fool with the lights and stuff like that. A little bit warmer, hopefully, and then also sometimes it's really pretty out here, and I can show you some nice scenery and stuff too. This is kind of interesting. Sometimes you like, cut these boards and they look like, what the hell? This is kind of cool. If that was like another board for like something else, I wouldn't. I'd probably, I don't know, probably wouldn't use it, but it's for blocking, so I don't really care. I think that'll be just fine. It's just interesting. I have to admit, like a couple minutes ago, I just remembered that suck on these nuts joke, and it freaking killed me, man. I'm just blasted.